I was born into adversity. Compton, California. We had 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. My father was taken out when I was 10 years of age. And that was very devastating, but I did not show it, never cried at my own father's funeral, but I definitely felt the impact. I would say that adversity actually was really strong for me because I learned to be resilient at a very early age. But then I got a break. My 6th grade teacher said to me, Tim, I think you're brilliant, and I want to build your brilliance. Life has momentum. There's 3 levels of living, almost, most, and utmost. And then the utmost, that is that place that is beyond. At 10 years of age, in a time of prayer, I felt the presence of God, and I felt that he called me and showed me that my calling was going to be very unique and very specific and very original. And I believe it was the power of the Holy Spirit that was showing me that I would be Tim Storey.
Wow. Today, I have the honor of sitting down with a true visionary, Tim Storey. He's a world-renowned speaker, life coach, and best-selling author who has inspired millions, from celebrities and athletes to everyday people looking to turn setbacks into comebacks. Tim has been featured on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday and has worked with some of the biggest names in entertainment business and personal development. His wisdom on mindset, faith, and resilience has helped countless people unlock their full potential. I am so excited to dive into his journey, his insights, and his powerful message on how we can all rise above life's challenges. Welcome, Tim. It is such a pleasure to have you here today. I know we've tried for how long now? It's been a while to have you here.
About a year.
About a year, and I know you're super busy. You've been traveling the world in the last 25 days, so thank you for taking the time and being here with me.
What a privilege.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to start out with my first question, which is, you've inspired so many people worldwide with your message of resilience and faith, which hits home for me big time. Can you take us back to the beginning? What shaped you into the person that you are today?
Okay. Number one, what a privilege to be on with you.
Thank you so much.
I'm a fan of what you do.
Thank you.
Because I think that in dentistry, Smile, it can really change somebody as far as their faith in themselves and their courage. And I know for a fact with people that have gone to you that you do such a great job. So
thank you. Appreciate you. So kind of you.
So let me just say this. I think that with me, I was born into adversity. Compton, California, we had 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and then I was like a surprise child. So I was the youngest of the 5. So I come home to a 2-bedroom apartment in Compton. So I'm now the 7th person in the little building.
Wow.
So we were really raised in adversity. Mother had a 6th grade education, worked at Winchell's Donut Shop. Father had a 10th grade education, worked at Bethlehem Steel. And but I would say that adversity actually was really strong for me because I learned to be resilient at a very early age.
Yeah. How many boys and girls were you?
So we had 3 sisters in a row. And then my brother Randy, he came 4 years before me.
Okay.
And then I was born kind of as an accidental child. But I guess there's really no accidents, right?
I was told I was the accident child, the 8th baby of the family.
See, I never knew that. So you had more than us.
Yeah, we're 4-4. Yeah. So, well, that's great. And you talk a lot about turning setbacks into comebacks. Can you share a moment in your life when you faced a major setback, and how did you navigate them?
Yeah. And when I tell this story, it's not for the sake of anybody feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
But it's what happened is just, life has momentum. And I remember that in our family, we were starting to gain momentum. And my father was so proud that we were moving out of a tougher neighborhood and we were going to move to a place called Whittier, California. We ended up moving there. We got a 3-bedroom house. That was our first house. So we had a 3-bedroom house. And my father went to go get my mother food. He had ordered food from a restaurant, was driving in his car. A policeman, bless his heart, because I love police people. police officers. A police officer ran a red light, hit my father,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
died.
Oh, wow.
And he died on the spot. And the man got nervous and did not report it instantly. And so my father died at 7:30 at night, and our family did not know till about 8 the next morning. But when we heard that news, it was so devastating because my father was the person with the most enthusiasm and humor in the house. My mother is Spanish. Her first language is Spanish. Uh, not to make a stereotype, but
Right.
she was very tough. My mother never really hugged me till she was 75 years of age. So now we were raised in an environment that was very cold. So my father was taken out when I was 10 years of age, and that was very devastating, but I did not show it, never cried at my own father's funeral, but I definitely felt the impact.
Wow. I mean, for a 10-year-old to go through that,
Yeah.
that's and not be able to show emotions. And I get that because, we come from a Middle Eastern background where you just go with the flow and you just don't, you kind of just, not to say you don't deal with things, but you just toughen it up and you deal with it.
Yes.
And that's just kind of how we were raised as well. So I do get that whole. And what was that like for the rest of your siblings? What was that like as a family going through that?
That's such a great question because there's 5 of us and we all dealt with it differently.
Because they were different ages and different
ages.
Yeah.
So I felt like my older sister, it probably rushed her to get married. My second sister was very emotional, painter and artist. I think it affected her where she went into isolation. My third sister had already been looking at modeling, and she became a model and did quite well. Left the house very early in her teens. My brother, Randy, really headed towards addiction.
Wow.
He was just drinking a lot.
Was he the older?
Smoking weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was 14 and I was 10. And then for me, I kind of felt like the child that was left behind with my mother to hear her cry a lot.
Oh.
Because everybody in the family was just gone. They were sleeping at the friends' homes.
Yeah.
My brother was out a lot, hanging out with his friends. So that was a very strange time for me.
Yeah.
But I would say that in that time of adversity, I didn't see it getting better. I can't say that I had a lot of faith on like, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn my setback to a comeback. I thought like, wow, this is really not what I expected from life's diner.
Yeah.
Like if I was to choose what I wanted from a diner, that's not what I expected.
And at that age, did you start to feel the pressure to want to become something different?
Yeah.
Or at what point did it hit you? Was it later on in your teens?
Yes.
That you realized I want something more out of life and I want to do different things and I want to grow and
what I wanted at that stage is just to help my mother from not crying because I'd never heard my mother cry because she's so tough. And I remember me and my brother Randy saying, wow, do you hear her crying? Because even though we had 3 bedrooms, the walls were thin.
Right.
And I remember telling my brother, we got to stop that sound. I really can't take that. So there was never at that point any goals of, wow, this has given me my incentive to become Tim Storey. I just wanted to stop the crying.
Yeah.
But then I got a break. And the break was my 6th grade teacher who said to me, Tim, I think you're brilliant and I want to build your brilliance. And he started giving me some books to read that really helped me to get into what I call a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset.
And at what age was that?
This was at 10 years of age. And then this teacher helped me even into when I was 11 years of age and really began to mentor me. Because he knew my father had passed. And I think he really did believe in me. But he showed me books about people like Michelangelo, I had never read books like that. And I started reading about different artists, different poets, and I really began to expand my mind, which is an amazing thing from a lower income family.
Right.
I was already thinking pretty big.
And what were your teen years like? What were those like? You know, not having your father around, having your single mom. What was that like growing up?
I was really this guy you see now. I'm very even-tempered. I have a great friend named Smokey Robinson, and he says Tim Storey is like a guy that has smooth jazz playing in his mind at all times.
You do sound like it. Yeah, you're very calm.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
So that was me as a kid.
Yeah.
That was me as a teenager. So as a teenager, I just was prospering where I was planted.
Right.
I was good in sports. I was very good in baseball, very good in basketball, very good in baseball. I'm sorry, baseball, basketball, and football. And having the right coaches helped me.
Yeah.
I was always nice to people. I loved the underdog. If I saw a kid in school that was being bullied, I'd always want to help. So that kind of showed that where I was going to head someday in life.
Yeah, you wanted to help out. That's amazing. And your concept of miracle mentality is powerful. Can you break it down for our listeners? What does it truly mean? And how can someone stuck in a mundane or messy mentality shift into a miracle mindset?
Yeah. So I really believe with all my heart that there's 3 levels of living: almost, most, and utmost. If you could think about it even for your own life, almost means not quite, nearly, sort of. Sometimes we almost see our parents happy.
Right.
Or their marriage almost worked.
Good. Yeah.
Or let's say you have goals and desires and they almost happen. So almost means not quite. Then you have what's called most. And if I was to let go a helium balloon in this studio, it would go high, high, high. These are pretty high ceilings,
Right.
but it would stop.
Right.
Most people have, as John Maxwell says, the law of the lid, that they can only go as high as their environment. So you have the almost, the most, and then the utmost is the pinnacle, the zenith. And that is that place that is beyond. So I learned this by talking to kids, even in the inner city where I was brought up at first. I would say, what do you want to be? And they would say, a professional basketball player. What do you want to be? A little girl in my neighborhood. I want to be a ballerina. It's amazing that even kids that were lower income families were thinking different, better,
Bigger.
more magical.
Right.
They were thinking with a miracle mentality. So as I got older and began to study, I realized that the miracle mentality is innate. Because I know you have children. How many children do you have?
I have two.
Okay.
14 and a 15.
Okay. So when they were little, they thought big.
Yeah.
So if we were to ask any little child, what are you thinking of doing? They'd tell you some amazing things, mostly if they're like 4, 5, and 6 years of age.
Right.
So the miracle mentality is 2 things. Number one, it's innate. Secondly, it can be mentored, and we can educate somebody into a miracle mentality, and it can be pulled out of somebody.
So in your opinion, and just out of curiosity, because I remember for me as I was a young girl in Lebanon and there was bombs falling and I'm in a shelter and it's dark and like sleeping on cement floors. I remember being like having a strong fire inside of me. Like I'm going to one day become this person. Do you think that exists in every person and that's taken away as we get older? Is it chipped away from us as we get older? And is it our mindset that keeps it there? Or is it just not in every single person that it have to be learned or like relearned as we get older?
Yeah. So I think with you, it was different. The God chose you to put a really high call on you. There's a biblical verse, Ephesians 4:1, that says, walk worthy of the calling that God has given you. Each person's calling is, number one, specific, and number 2, it's unique. Okay. And number 3, it is original. So specific, unique, and original.
Okay.
And so no 2 people are called to the same thing.
Right.
So I think that your calling was already big, vast, and you were supposed to change a lot of people from the get-go. Well, I think there's some people that God calls, and their calling is a lot more simplistic because that's pretty much their temperament.
Yeah.
And that's what they want, and that's what makes them happy.
True.
And so I think that you were calling, your calling called you at an early age, and you knew that it was big. You didn't know how you were going to get there, but you knew it was big.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never thought about it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to shift gear a little bit and talk about faith.
Yeah.
Because that's really important to me. And again, I always go back to my days of, bombs and shelters and wars, and faith has got me through so much in my life. I grew up very Catholic, very religious parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so faith plays a huge role in your message.
Yes.
So how has your faith guided you through your personal and professional challenges?
Yeah. So in the inner city, if you were to study the inner cities of Detroit, Chicago, the inner cities of parts of New York, in Los Angeles, a lot of inner city families take their kids to church.
Right.
Because church is a safe haven.
It's a community. Yeah.
It's a community. So my parents took us to the Catholic Church at a very early age. And part of it was for the community.
Right.
And for their children to find a foundation in God, that even though my father struggled at that time with alcoholism, we were definitely driven to church. So, but for me, I found a personal relationship with Jesus Christ when I was very young, at 7 years of age. It grew at 10, and it got very powerful, like when I was 12.
And sorry to interrupt you, but when you say a relationship with God, what is that like to you?
Yeah, I think that,
did you hear him speak to you? Like, was it, what was that like?
I think that it went from being in what we call Sunday school, where they're teaching you stories about Noah building an ark or David fighting Goliath. But then it was when the Sunday school teacher started telling us that we could pray. And Timmy, this is how you pray. You can go home and you could pray. And I would pray to God, and I would sense his presence. And I would sense his presence in a very unusual way. And it was at 10 years of age that in a time of prayer, I felt the presence of God. And I believe it was the power of the Holy Spirit that was showing me that I would be Tim Storey.
Wow.
In fact, I have a very good friend named Oprah Winfrey that we are close. We collaborate on a lot of projects. And I was telling her the story in her backyard one time.
Yeah.
She said, Tim, that's interesting because when I was 10, the same thing happened to me. So I feel like, God showed up to me in a very unique way because he's a father to the fatherless. My father had died, and I felt that he called me and showed me that my calling was going to be very unique and very specific and very original, as I said earlier.
That's amazing. See, I told you you remind me of my dad.
Yeah.
Because he used to say, like, he would have conversations with God all the time.
Yes.
And he's like, God has saved my life about 9 to 10 times. He spoken to him in certain ways where it's like, you need to leave now, or you need to do this and you need to do that. So
yes,
that's amazing. And you've worked with some of the biggest names that you just mentioned, Oprah Winfrey, in entertainment and business and sports. What have you learned from coaching high achievers about success, fulfillment, and what truly matters in life?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've lived a fortunate life where I ended up going to college and I got a doctorate degree in world religion and a master's in counseling therapy. And when I did this, I wanted to be like Mother Teresa or Nelson Mandela, who I so look up to. And it was awesome that when I was only 31 years of age, that Nelson Mandela came to watch me speak.
Wow.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And there was like 11,000 people there that night. But for me, I feel like there's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. So this idea of Tim Storey in celebrities, I didn't try. I was speaking at an inner city church, and a lady by the name of Diane Cannon, who was married to Cary Grant, the Cary Grant. At the time, I was very, very young. in my late 20s. And she said, I want to do a spiritual gathering in my house in Bel Air.
Yeah.
And I did it. And, later on, she introduced me to people like Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, James Caan, Elliot Gould. I mean, what young guy is...
Exactly, yeah.
What young guy is...
So you were in the right... Yeah.
spiritual leader to people like that. It was unheard of. So I
That's
could not have
unbelievable.
manipulated myself into that world. So now I work with over 400 entertainers presently. When they ask me, who do you work with? It's let's flip it. Who do I not work with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you find it harder to work with big people for you? Is it harder?
I don't think so, because I think that I see people as people. So I honor you as one of the top cosmetic dentists in the world. And just like I was recently hanging out with George Clooney in Milan. George Clooney is George Clooney,
Right.
you know? He's a great actor. You're great at what you do.
Yeah. You separate that from
Yeah.
them being
But
a person.
but I
Yeah.
totally honor them.
Right.
And that's why they keep coming back. So I think some people try to say, like, everybody's the same. No, they don't have they don't have Justin Bieber's challenges.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a quick question, little off track here. When you travel, because you just said you went to 25 different... No, you were gone for 25 days.
I was gone 25 days
to, I don't
in a
know,
row.
how many countries?
A lot. I was
A
in
lot of
Dubai.
countries.
I
Right.
was in Germany. I was in Bulgaria.
How do you speak to all these people? Do you shift gear from country to country?
100%.
Because I'm sure there's different religions, there's different mindset, there's different cultures, there's different backgrounds. So how do you navigate that?
It's a great question, because whenever you're talking to a group of people, so right now we're in Newport Beach.
Right.
So when you speak, like, let's say if we left here and we spoke to 200 business leaders, we would have to know what is the climate and what is the culture. So the culture is what kind of group? What is the climate? Are they upbeat? Do they have high energy? So when I was just doing the World Government Summit, right before me was the president of Poland. Right after me was the guy who's worth $13.5 billion out of China, that has a very famous company. Then it was me. Then it was Jeffrey Katzenberg. Then it was Elon Musk. So depending on the climate and culture, I change what I'm gonna say.
Right.
And I see it like pitches, if I can say it that way. So let's say in baseball, if I had 3 pitches, if one was a fastball, if one was a curve behind my ear, and then one was a changeup. So to the group in Newport Beach, I might throw like a changeup.
Yeah.
Because maybe the group at first is
Different.
like, who does Tim Storey think he is, Mr. Life Coach of Stars? And they did this. I'd throw him a changeup.
Yeah.
And then I'd have him in the palm of my hands in about 4 minutes. To a group like this World Economic Summit, they were ready for me. I mean, they were hyped.
Wow.
So I was throwing high heat. I was throwing fastballs.
I love that. I wish I was there to watch you.
Yeah.
And when you speak of faith in these summits that you talk to, of course, not everybody's necessarily Christian, or not everybody has your faith. How do you talk about faith in a way that relates to different religions and different people?
Yeah. I don't feel a need to talk about faith all the time.
Yeah.
I feel a need to just live out my relationship with Jesus Christ. So there's a lot of settings I never say one thing.
Right.
But people will look at me like, what the heck? And you got so much joy. I was recently at a big thing in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And there was a very well-known guy that all of us would know. And he met me for the first time. He was with another star that I know. When this guy shook my hand, he stared at me. And then his friend said, I told you that when you met Tim Storey, you would feel something. So I think we are carriers of God's presence.
Yeah. So
I don't need to say much.
I agree.
I'm just carrying God's presence around.
I love that. And many people struggle with fear. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. What advice do you have for someone who knows they need to take actions but feels paralyzed by fear?
Yeah. So number one, if you're fearful, I don't blame you. We have a war in Russia. We have a war in the Middle East. We have tariffs taking off. We have, what is the economy?
Yeah.
We just experienced fires in Los Angeles. We've got earthquakes.
Yeah.
We have our children. We're wondering about our children, of what kind of information they're getting. It's completely different than my era.
Oh, for sure.
And then your era, because you're after me, you're younger than me. So I don't blame you for fearing. But here's the deal. You can deal with that fear, even from a biblical standpoint. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear. So the word fear there means to bring terror, to be tormented. So fear torments. So God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So now if I know that I am racked by fear, paralyzed by fear, what do I need to look for? You need to look for power, love, and a sound mind. And so what I have to do is I have to do what I call shift my satellite dish towards that type of thinking and say, okay, God, if you're God, where's the power to overcome fear? Okay?
Yeah.
Where is the sound mind? How do I get it? And that's through meditation and renewing your mind. And then the love is this idea of no matter what I'm going through, I'm going to trust God, I'm going to love God, and I'm going to walk in this divine peace.
Yeah.
So I walk in divine peace no matter what I face.
Yeah. And for you praying, what is that like? You know, some people praying, it's going to church. Some people, it's just sitting down in the morning for half an hour and, like you're saying, meditating. What is praying like for you when you feel like you need to pray and you need to talk to Jesus? What's that like for you?
So the idea of prayer is communication.
Right.
So I read a lot of books on communication because I teach people how to become better speakers. So I probably have read 24 books on communication. So as you know, because you have a family, communication is not always verbal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's body language. Sometimes it's just showing up and just being there. Same thing with God. So prayer is not always communication. Sometimes it's just being in his presence. Well, how do you get in his presence? Sometimes you put on like worship music and you just meditate and you're in a place of being
Peace.
still
Yeah.
in peace. And we call that, worshiping God. You spend time worshiping God. Sometimes prayer is what they call petition in the Bible, where you say, God, I want to pray for my children right now.
Yeah.
I'm praying for my husband. I'm praying for my occupation. I'm praying for the peace in the world. So sometimes prayer is just waiting on God and worshiping God. Sometimes it's petition, but prayer to me is spawned out of wanting to have a great relationship with God. So God put mankind on earth, not for them to be successful, but for them to be his friends.
Yeah.
He wants a relationship with us. So a lot of my prayer is out of relationship.
I love that. Amazing. And you often say your setback is a setback for comeback. What are some practical steps that someone can take to start their own comeback story?
Yeah. A lot of this came out of my relationship with Robert Downey Jr. In 1999, he said to me, hey, do me a favor, just help me be okay.
Yeah.
And I said, that's going to be difficult because I don't really believe in just doing okay. And we just started talking. And so I took him through a process of turning your setbacks to comebacks. Number one, you have to become awake. To be awake means to be conscious. I think there's a lot of people watching this podcast right now. They are not awake.
They're not awake. Probably 99% of the population is not awake.
They're not awake.
We're all on a hamster wheel.
No doubt. Yeah. You're dating somebody that's really not what you're about. You maybe married somebody. It's not what you're about.
Yeah.
You may have addictions, challenges. It's not what you're about.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to wake up. And Oprah calls it an aha moment. We've all had them.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you get an aha moment? Sometimes you go to a quiet place. You may go on vacation. You may get into prayer meditation. But you need to become awake. Secondly, you have to take inventory. And inventory is truly looking at yourself.
Yeah.
And be realistic. Where am I in the areas of my life? Physically, what should I do here? Mentally,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, job, finances. Where am I in my relationship? Am I single? Am I married? Am I engaged? Where am I in relationship? Then where's my family relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I with my family? Where am I with my job, my finances, my social life? Most powerful men that I coach, because I coach some of those powerful men in the world that literally run the world, I will say, scale of 1 to 10, where are you financially? 10.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you with your job? 9. Where are you with your family? 3. Where are you mentally? 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mental is
different.
your strength of your mind and also the clarity of your mind. So you have to take inventory to have a comeback watch. Become awake. Then you have to take inventory. Then the last one I'll tell you right now, you have to partner with the right people.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
have to
That's
partner with
huge.
the right people.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I wanted to jump back to the next question. How do you personally stay motivated yourself and you keep your energy high? Because obviously you're traveling a lot. You're doing so many things. You're constantly speaking. And I'm sure when you're coaching, you're taking on other people's energy. I mean, same thing when I'm doing dentistry. I've taken fear away from people and anxiety. And at the end of the day, I get mentally and physically drained. And so when you're pouring into others, how does your own self-care and mindset practice look like? What do you do for your own self-care?
Great question. So we learned 3 primary ways. Education.
Mm-hmm.
So I read a lot of books. I think some people read too many books. I don't believe in 1 book a week. I don't.
How many books on average do you read?
I don't think the retention is strong.
Yeah.
I read 1 book a month, but I really know it. So if I read Atomic Habits, you could tell me what's on page 36,
Mm-hmm.
and I could probably tell you because I'm really focusing on that book. I get a lot of the young guys coming to me and say, like, oh my gosh, I read 1 book a week.
That's fast.
I think they're moving too quickly. They're not retaining.
Do you read every single day?
I do not.
Okay.
I listen to books on tape, probably 3 out of 7 days. I read the Bible 7 days a week, and I listen to podcasts or YouTube videos probably 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I do study. Watch this. 2 hours a day. I've studied 2 hours today already.
When you say study,
I study YouTube videos. I'm studying Brene Brown.
got it.
I'm studying Jamie Kern Lima.
You're dissecting.
I'm studying you. I know when you're on vacation. I know how you're exercising. I know when you have cool people to come in your office.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So when you say, how do I get inspired? Education, observation, conversation. But I really have been inspired by you because I think for a busy person, I see that you're also out there living life.
I do. I try to because to me, it's life is precious. And I think because of what I went through, I appreciate everything.
Yeah.
I get up before the sunrise because I don't want to miss a minute. And it's important. I appreciate everything, every little thing, the cup of coffee in the morning. I appreciate my kids' hugs. I appreciate even now it's just a little chaotic right now in my life. I have so much going on, but everything I look at it as a blessing and it's, I get to, not I have to. It's really just a mindset change for me.
No, I like that. And so for me, I want to be alive in my life.
Exactly.
So the reason I study is for my own personal growth.
Yeah.
Not just to share everything. I think the fact that I get to do some really cool jobs, like with the speaking, I also have my own talk show coming out next year.
Oh, nice.
I think maybe you're aware of that or you're not.
Yeah.
But all of the top people are showing interest, CBS, ABC, Fox, and Telepictures.
Amazing.
So we'll see which one we go with.
Okay. Can't wait for that.
Also working on another TV show, working on a Broadway play. We've put probably 7 years into that. It's
Oh
going
my
to cost
goodness.
us about $15 million. And I'm excited about that. So, I mean, I have some really cool projects that I enjoy, but more than that, I like being in the moment.
Yeah, that's very important, being present and being in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get back to all the things that you're doing. But if you could leave people with one lesson, and I know that's hard, but something they absolutely need to understand about life and purpose,
Yeah.
what would that be?
I think that's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've ever given this answer on podcast or radio show or TV show. The answer I'd give you
Mm-hmm.
is sometimes you have to go left before
You go right.
you go right.
Yeah.
And I mean this with all my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I think so many people are frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, how did I waste so much time with that man? Well, in the moment that you made that choice, maybe you didn't really know everything.
True.
And even though you're left and you feel like you're in a desert,
Mm-hmm.
you can learn from the desert.
Yes.
How did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
What could I do different? And now what am I supposed to learn? So we could turn the left into a library and a sanctuary. Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to go left
Mm-hmm.
before you go right. And so I'm really into that. So I was married many, many years ago, about 20 years ago. I have 2 amazing children that are now in their early 30s. I used to like shame myself for getting divorced, mostly coming from a religious background.
Right.
Probably had 3 people shame me out of the 8 billion. It's not so terrible.
It's not so bad. There's always going to be someone
Everybody
that's
talks about
gonna
their
shame
haters.
you, right?
Everybody talks about haters. I think I got only 3.
Well, that's great.
And
You're doing good.
And they're not doing so well, those guys. But I used to shame myself.
Yeah.
But I learned from even divorce, and I turned it into a library and a sanctuary. It made me a better dad. It made me a better person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, sometimes you got to go left before you get right.
Well, life is lessons. I mean, and lessons are learned through mistakes, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we don't just learn lessons by reading books. We
Right.
learn lessons by living life and making mistakes and growing from it. And so the mistakes are the left turn. And then that's how you get to the right.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. For those, before I get to the next question, actually, I wanted to ask you if you can get into more detail about what are you up to these days and what's coming up. I know you said you have a show coming up.
Yeah.
Are you working on a new show?
Mhm.
Tell us about that in more detail and tell me about your Broadway show that you're working on as well.
Yeah, the Broadway show's cool. It's I had the idea years ago, and I started working with a guy named Paul Lambert, who did a Broadway show called First Wives Club,
Oh, yeah.
where he got the rights from Paramount.
Yeah.
They put about 14 million into this play. And then I'm friends with Magic Johnson, so I
Yeah.
approached Magic Johnson about the money. And so, the money we can raise.
Great.
I went to probably the biggest rapper of our day. I won't mention his name. He said yes to do the
Yeah.
music to it. So
And what is the concept of your
the
play?
play is
What's it about?
phenomenal. It's about the supernatural realm,
Mm,
and I cannot give the exact title of it,
of course.
but it is phenomenal about that there's other things out there besides us. So it's
Yeah.
a supernatural realm.
That's so
But
cool.
I mean, I even got the attention of Andrew Lloyd Webber, who's done a lot. So I think that this is where I'm headed.
Great.
I have that play. We're
Mhm.
working on other plays. We created a amazing company with one of the heads of NBC, myself and Paul Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
Been working on an amazing movie with one of our leading movie stars. So that's fun. But I love entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like creating jewelry. I like fashion.
Oh, you do? I didn't know that.
I have furniture coming out.
Amazing. You're just dabbling a little bit in everything.
I'm an artist.
I love that.
Yeah, I think artists create.
They do create. Yeah. I love it. For me, dentistry is artistry. If you ask me to draw, I still draw stick shifts to like stick people to this day.
Yeah.
But for me, this is why I love dentistry, because it's art. It's creating, it's making beautiful things.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that I'm like shotgun everything's
One,
everywhere.
right.
I think that for me, as a single person, I have time in my hands. So I might be in Dubai
Yeah.
designing jewelry.
I love that.
It's a great outlet.
Well, I'll be your first customer.
My jewelry is already phenomenal. You're going to like it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to love it.
I'll reach out to you just so you can see.
Please,
You're
yes. I'll be your model.
You're going to be like, wow, wow, wow.
I love
you
that.
would be a good model.
And if I wanted to go out and buy 3 books right now, what would be your recommendation for the 3 books? What are your favorite top 3 books?
I would buy the Bible.
Yes.
Number 1.
I have that.
Secondly, I would buy a devotional called Jesus Calling, which is an amazing devotional by Sarah Young, who went on to be with Jesus. She went to heaven. It's a great devotional. I have 100% of people that I life coach who are not even Christian that go through it.
Wow.
Because she gives scriptures and then she talks about them for 365 days. The third book I would get, a necessity, is my last book called The Miracle Mentality. This book is phenomenal.
Of course.
It's phenomenal.
I'm going to get it and read it.
My editor is Nick Childs, who taught at Princeton, African-American guy. And we just went at it for years and put that together.
I love
so
that.
I'd get the Bible first. I'd start in the New Testament. I'd start with the book of John. Don't start on Leviticus. You'll get super confused. And then I'd get Jesus Calling. And then third, I'd get my book, The Miracle Mentality.
You got it. I'm taking notes. All right. And for those listening who want to take the first step in transforming their lives today, where should they start and where can they connect with you and learn more about your work?
Yeah, I think the first idea of transformation is to realize, yikes, I need to be transformed.
Yeah.
And life sends us wake-up calls when we find ourselves feeling empty, maybe depressed, maybe full of anxiety, maybe your children are giving you trouble, maybe you're giving you trouble, maybe you're having problems with your relationship with your husband or your wife.
Right.
So I think it's that wake-up call. And then I think, again, partnering with the right people that can lead you the right way. And then I'm pretty good as a life coach. I have a great community called World Shakers.
Yeah.
Where I mentor people 3 times a month. It is me mentoring people. So you don't have to pay the thousands of dollars an hour that I charge to life coach you for an hour. It's only $270 a month. And I life coach people on how to have a better life.
And are these group sessions or are these
these are group sessions, yeah. So it's several hundred people at one time.
Wow.
But I have everybody on there. And then I bring on people, brilliant people like yourself, or sleep coaches, or people that deal with depression, or people help you with our taxes. So best way to find out is just timstory.com. timstory.com.
So for every listener out there that wants to reach you, that's how you can reach him, you guys. And before I close this beautiful episode, guide me through your typical day. From what time do you wake up? What do you do to the time you go to bed? I'm just curious. This is for my own curiosity.
Yeah. I wake up at 5.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
You're the, I'm 4:30. I like half an hour before
I can hear
you.
brewing coffee from down the road.
Yes.
I wake up at 5 and then I wash my face and brush my teeth.
Oh, very good. I like that.
And then I go to a different room than my bedroom. And then I start my 2 hours of study.
Wow.
So whatever I'm going to study, I study for 2 hours. That takes me to 5:15 to 7:15.
Yeah.
And then I go to the gym 5 days a week. So I either go to the gym and do weights or whatever I do there. I walk 4 or 5 times a week just to stay alive and be able to be agile. And so that's a big part. Then I shower and then I'm ready to tackle the day. 7 businesses.
That's amazing. I'm just curious. I figured you're a 5 a.m.er, I'm sure.
I am, yeah.
Yes, that's great.
But I enjoy it.
I love it.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege to be up so early. I love it. I can't do any other way. Well, it was such a pleasure having you on. I could sit and talk to you for
Thank you.
literally hours and pick your brain and your mind, and you're amazing. And it's a pleasure being with you, and it's calming. Your energy is just so powerful and calming at the same time. And thank you for being here. And you got to come back and hang out with us
We're
more
friends.
often.
So
We're friends.
I want to be back on. And
yes.
again, if I could just say this, proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for touching and helping all types of people. It's not just women that are following you, but men and families. And you have a great reputation of people.
Thank you. I appreciate
that love
you.
to say great things about you. And so congratulations.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. That means the world to me. I appreciate you so much. And it was a pleasure having you here. Can't wait to have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you.